An outline history of Malabar from 1700 onward. The location of Malabar. The southwestern coast of South Asia was generally known as the Malabar coast among the ancient maritime traders of yore, it seems. However, on coming near to the coastline, it would be seen that Malabar was a small stretch of land that lay between the South Canara area just north of Malabar and Cochin just south of Malabar. The Western Ghats, locally known as the Sahyadris, stood as the eastern border of Malabar. Malabar district of Madras Presidency. Also seen are the taluks of the district, created by the English East India Company administration. Malabar district, also known as British Malabar, included parts of present-day Kannur, Calicut, Wayanad, Malappuram, Palghat and Trichy districts of current-day Kerala. Apart from that, the Laccadive Islands were also under the Malabar district administration. Please note that there was a Cochin Taluk also under the Malabar district administration. This included Fort Cochin areas. Tangasheri in current-day Koilan district and Anjango in current-day Trivandrum district were also part of British Malabar. They were under the Cochin Taluk administration. It may be mentioned in passing that there was, and possibly is, a general tendency among the peoples of Travancore to include their lands also under the Malabar geographical nomenclature. However, this might be an erroneous attempt promoted by certain political and social interests. The locally known name of Malabar was Malayalam or Malayam. This is what is seen mentioned in Malabar Manual, written by William Logan. The boundaries of Malabar proper, as mentioned in Malabar Manual, are North, South Canara district, East, Coorg, Mysore, Nilgiris, Coimbatore, South, Cochin Kingdom, West, the Arabian Sea. Malabar Manual can be read on Victoria Institution's website. The PDF version is also available. Malabar itself was actually two different geographical locations, North Malabar and South Malabar. The dividing line between these two locations was the river locally known as Korapura. The peoples who lived in North Malabar and South Malabar were not the same to some extent. This idea can be elaborated later. The English East India Company set up its trade centre at Tellicherry around the later years of the 17th century. This trade centre, which was generally known as the English Factory, had its outworks on Dharmapattanam Island, otherwise known as Dharmadam Island or as Dharmadam Turut in the local language. It was a very strategic location for the company, for excellent pepper was available in the nearby locations. The English company was focused on pepper trade. The language of Malabar was also known as Malayalam. However, this colloquial language of Malabar was as much different from modern-day Malayalam as much as is modern Malayalam from Tamil. It might be mentioned in passing that the language of Travancore area had been Tamil. It may be mentioned in passing that there was a fervent interest in Travancore to be identified as being part of Malabar over the centuries. However, till around the 1980s, the peoples in both the places were different, and their languages also were different. The Malayalam created in Travancore was able to drive out the local language of Malabar. Curiously, both languages had the same name Malayalam. The reason for this can be discussed later. In the local language of Malabar, there were very few traces of Sanskrit or Tamil, and the words of common conversation were different from the words in modern-day Malayalam. It may be mentioned in passing that modern-day Malayalam was created in locations outside Malabar. Maybe some persons of Malabar nativity also must have participated in the creation of this new language. Christian missionary societies from England as well as from continental Europe also did much work to develop the nascent Malayalam of Travancore. In the early days when the English East India Company set up its trade center at Tellicherry, there were 29 separate nadus or locations in both the two Malabars together. Some of them were under the control of the same Raja families. Others were under independent rulers or semi-rulers. The idea of semi-ruler is that even though the local king family exercised full control over the land, they would mention another ruler as their titular sovereign. The following is a list of the various nadus that were there in around 1800. Apart from the above-mentioned locations, such places as Vettatnad, Baipur, Taniur, and Palgat were also there. Beyond all this, there were places such as Korangoat, Chaugat, Edathara, and Mannur, where the local feudal lord families enjoyed some kind of sovereign rights over their own locations. Apart from all that, there is need to mention the Arakal family or the royal family seen written as of the Ali Rajas of Kannanur. It is possible that the word Ali Raja might really have been Ari Raja, for this king is seen mentioned as the Lord of the Seas. Ari means ocean in the local language. However, this kingdom was of very small size. In North Malabar, this kingdom held power over some parts of modern Kannanur town. This family did get some power over the Dharmadam island on an occasional basis. However, it must be mentioned that due to some quirk of history, this family did get some sovereign power over some islands in the Laccadive Islands. It might be mentioned in passing that all these kingdoms were of minuscule size, and all of them existed in a state of continuous belligerence. All these small-time kingdoms experienced more or less similar kinds of social and political issues.